Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Wednesday as I'm here at the Ritz-Carlton about to break my fast with this amazing donut, but I had to get this video update out to you guys about the Bitcoin price because exactly as we've been talking about, after moving above 38,000, we're starting to slow down. And so today's video is going to focus on all of the major confirmations that I'm personally watching to indicate whether or not Bitcoin is going cross back below 30,000 US dollars, or if we're just seeing a garden variety retest of a major support level, which we're going to start this video off with 36,500. This is the extremely important support that Bitcoin has so far held with this slowdown and this move back below 38,000. Of course, we know the whales are never going to make this easy for us. So 38,000 breaking, I know we talked about that being the major level yesterday. It's totally fine for that to happen. It's garden variety market behavior for things like this to happen. Of course, there are some puzzle pieces I'm going to talk about with Ethereum and then some fundamental news that we have to cover about Bitcoin, not just in India. I know a lot of people are talking about India treating Bitcoin as gambling now, but the UK actually just passed a law, and I want to talk about that because a lot of these fundamentals might have an effect on Bitcoin. But let's just first look at the charts. So we have a previous weekly open at 36,250, and we have a major support at 36,500. This is going to be the first area that we want to monitor for Bitcoin, because if we start to see any hourly or 4-hour candles closing below 36,500, now we are getting a confirmation of a lot of weakness here in the Bitcoin price. But as long as we stay above this level and the volume on the sell side does not increase, you can see we're seeing very light sell side volume. In my opinion, there is no reason to be concerned with Bitcoin crossing back below 38,000 because we've had such an amazing week. And I say that because a lot of people have entered Bitcoin positions, for those in the Discord, around the $35,000 level. We're still in profits. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. Those are long-term holdings that I'm dollar cost averaging into because at this point, we know, as Kathy would say, we are in deep value territory in all of the tech sector. And with Bitcoin down 40% from its previous all-time highs, we know right now is an extremely good time to be dollar cost averaging long-term positions. But when it comes to margin and things like that, it's a little bit of a different scenario and a different topic because, of course, there is a potential right now, as we talked about yesterday, that we see this bearish redistribution phase occur and that we could see further downside. Notice here on the top right, that higher highs we talked about yesterday, we broke this $38,000 level, which was the potential confirmation that this actually could be a bearish flag to show continued downside and a continuation move. And that would actually bring Bitcoin down back below the $34,788 level to potentially test lower levels, 32,000 being the first area that I'd expect some sort of volume. And then, of course, we know if 34,788 breaks, that opens up the door to 25,880 in this really large range. So we don't want 34,788 to break. And so 36,500 is going to be the first major support level that we want to watch for Bitcoin. But there's also some other areas on the four-dimensional aspects of the market that we could watch here for a confirmation, an early confirmation potentially. And that's the fact that the Ethereum to US dollar price is actually maintaining its weekly open right now around 2,600. If we don't breach below 2,600 for Ethereum, that is a very positive sign. I would look at the $2,600 level for Ethereum as the equivalent of the $36,500 level for Bitcoin. So if we see either Bitcoin or Ethereum cross this major support, with Bitcoin being 36,500, Ethereum being 2,600, that would be one confirmation that we could potentially see this downside move. But as long as we stay above 36,500, I believe that this is all garden variety market behavior for us to be coming down right now. Now, of course, we get below 36,500. We want to monitor candle symmetry to see whether or not we're going to be seeing a decisive move below this level. And then 34,788 is the make it or break it for Bitcoin. And it's not a surprise right now that we're seeing a slowdown. And the reason I say that is because for those that have been tuned into the Sniper channel, you know we've been taking a lot of trades over the last week. And specifically in the traditional markets, if you guys remember my story from 2 days ago, we took trades with Tesla, ARK Innovation ETF, the top performing ETF from 2020, sitting at its 200-week moving average. We took a trade on Coinbase, and guess what has been the top performing trade that we've taken so far over the last week? Coinbase hitting already 30% profits since the bottom. We took this trade on Friday, so it's only been 4 business days, And we've already seen Coinbase move up 30%. Does that not tell you institutions are dollar cost averaging inside of the cryptocurrency market? Of course, Coinbase being a traditional stock, but pretty much the only stock that's really, mainly crypto. And so, ARK Innovation ETF, all these other ones that we took trades on didn't hit 30% profits. Most of them hit 15% profits, 20% profits. So in the four-dimensional aspects of the market, could we say that we've potentially bottomed out? I think that that's certainly a case. Now, there are some fundamentals that are affecting the price right now, and I'll talk about that in just a second, but there are a couple more things that I want to address on the chart. So on the daily, I want you guys to realize that right now we have a monthly open and weekly open sitting right around that $38,000 level. If at any point in time we start to see volume back above 38,000, that would be a very good confirmation that we could potentially see continued upside once again. As you guys know, 38,000 right now is going to be the major resistance that we have to get above. And as long as we stay above 36,500, that's the best case scenario so far for us just seeing a slight amount of weakness right now. Ethereum to US dollar price actually showing a little more strength than Bitcoin on the daily, with the weekly open holding at 2,600 so far. And I want you guys to realize what's happening with the DXY as well. We've already rejected 97. I'm not concerned about the DXY as a four-dimensional revolving part so far. This is exactly what we wanted to see, to assume that Bitcoin has the opportunity to continue further up, because this to me shows calmness. The DXY is staying within this range here, maintaining 95.885 right now, but below 97 to me is a great thing for the DXY. S&P 500, nothing to be worried about. Look at this. We are above the 100 and 200-day moving average. That to me is extremely positive. We're seeing a rescue operation, and so there's nothing to be concerned here with the S&P 500. And if we go and we look at what's happening here to the VIX, remember we talked about this VIX hitting this major resistance for the fourth time. We're seeing the VIX calm down. This was a confirmation for us hitting this level. I talked about this, that if we continue further back down, we've seen this happen many times in the past, where it's allowed traditional markets and the cryptocurrency market to continue up with the VIX. I'm sorry. That was a funny mistake there, man. These one takes on the iPhone sometimes will get you. So the VIX obviously doing very well here. And so with that being said, there are some headlines I want to address here. First and foremost, MicroStrategy buying the dip right now, 25 million in Bitcoin. Not a surprise. We've seen this happen many times. 660 tokens purchased from December 30th to January 31st. That's a bullish puzzle piece. Now, India says crypto not illegal as it's taxed like gambling. Now, the problem with this, which just released 2 days ago, this news, is that governments will tax virtual assets at the highest rate. That could be a fundamental reason that we're seeing a little bit of slip right now with Bitcoin. But remember, what do the whales love to do? They love to attach a narrative to price action, especially when they're buying the dip, right? They're going to find any reason to say, okay, this is a reason that price should go down, and let the masses pretty much kind of focus on that while they go and buy the dip. And remember, on red days, you want to prepare for your green days. On green days, you want to prepare for your red days. And that's how I like to approach the market. For those that have taken our Traders Profit Club course, we buy the fear and we sell the greed. And so is this really that bad of a news that India is actually starting to regulate and accepting crypto, and even saying it's not illegal? I think that's a positive sign here. Now, this is a little interesting today coming out. UK tax regulator toughens DeFi stance, and crypto isn't happy. Why is crypto not happy? Well, in the article, it says here from Bloomberg, the updated guidance added that returns made by investors through staking or lending DeFi assets cannot be considered as interest, as crypto assets are not considered to be currency or legal tender in the UK. Once again, it's fine. I understand they're taxing it at the highest rate, but they're not saying it's illegal. They're not banning it. They're just regulating it. We've seen regulation since 2017. Regulation has continued to come into this market, and it's only allowed the market to mature and do a lot better, right? So that's a very positive puzzle piece in my opinion. And then people are talking about late earnings sink tech after stocks close higher, markets wrap. Basically, Meta dropped about 24% after hours. Spotify plunged as well after results. But these are some of the top performing stocks of 2020 and 2021. I'm fine with them dropping. Google did extremely well after earnings 2 days ago, right? Apple did extremely well. Apple's now doing a stock split, a 20-to-1 stock split. So, it's just back and forth, and all of these other areas distracting people while Bitcoin is sitting here at oversold levels. I believe at this point, there is a potential right now we could see one more capitulation move to the downside if this bearish redistribution pattern does come into play, which so far it looks like 38,000 wasn't going to hold, but now we have 36,500 to watch. We're not seeing any crazy amounts of volume, and I want you guys to remember this before I wrap up this video and eat this donut. If we know how volume reacts to price action, we know institutional volume is what we look for potential bottoms. So far on the daily chart, we have seen institutional daily buy volume that we have not seen to this magnitude since Bitcoin bottomed out at 28,000 US dollars and topped out at 69,000. We have not seen any buy volume, as you can see, equate to this amount of buy volume that we've recently saw below 34,788. What does that tell me? Institutions have certainly dollar cost averaged below 34,788. Whether they expect further downside or not, I just know for a fact that institutions did take this place right here at 34,788 to dollar cost average. Even if we come down one more move to the downside towards 25 to 26,000, that would just trigger more institutional buy pressure based on what we saw here. And we know on the 6 hour, we also got institutional buy pressure. What we also know is that the altcoins outside of Ethereum are still in a very strong symmetrical triangle trend, which indicates that the bull market is not over, and the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart has maintained 65,000 Satoshis, showing strength above its previous weekly open and above the weekly open right now, which tells me that there's no reason right now to be fearful in the cryptocurrency market if we're seeing liquidity flow into coins outside of Bitcoin. With Bitcoin being the equivalent of gold in the digital version, people will move to Bitcoin if they have fear, but they're not moving to Bitcoin. They're fine investing in these alternative assets in the cryptocurrency market, which says that there's still positive sentiment. And so in my opinion, right now, with Bitcoin 50% down from its previous all-time high at 69,000, it is certainly a time to be dollar cost averaging long-term positions into Bitcoin. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. I maintain my position here with Bitcoin. I entered a very nice position at 35,000 that I do not plan to sell. Whether we go up or down, if we go further down, I will continue to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. And with that being said, I'm going to go enjoy this donut. I think this is a wrap up for everything that I wanted to cover. But no surprise here, guys. We're slowing down a little bit. We saw an amazing week over the last 7 days. If you didn't take advantage of it, that's your fault. Coinbase up 30% from its recent bottom less than a week ago. For those that entered into positions from the Discord, congratulations on that. So I talked about this on Tuesday. It's turnaround Tuesday. It's fine. We're going to slow down. We saw too much exuberance. We had such a great week. And at this point, Bitcoin staying above 36,500, S&P 500 staying strong. Stocks like Coinbase, 30% up. It's going to take a while for it to breach its previous low at this point that just happened recently. I don't see too much of a concern here for the cryptocurrency market, especially Bitcoin. And with that being said, we'll see what happens. Remember, 36,500, extremely important, snipers. 34,788, extremely important. The fact that we breached below 38,000 is putting a scenario on the table of a bearish redistribution model to see another leg to the downside. But we know below 34,708, we've already seen institutions step in. So why wouldn't they step in even lower prices, right? If Bitcoin were to see lower prices, I'm sure they would step in again, right? And so just keep this all in mind. At any point in time, as Will Clemente, on-chain analyst, says, based on his work, he says long-term hodlers are still holding Bitcoin. And what that means is the only reason we're seeing a slowdown in Bitcoin's price action is because there's just less demand. But what that means is because the hodlers are holding, anytime we see even a small amount of demand come in, Bitcoin's price is going to react with a very strong move to the upside. And that's a fact. If you watch his channel, Will Clemente, or you follow him on Twitter, it's a great on-chain analyst. I recently saw him say that exact word and the exact thesis. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to enjoy this coconut vegan donut to break my fast. And then I'm going to have a big, nice dinner here at the Ritz-Carlton, enjoying this pink sunset. One of my favorite colors, to see the pink and orange sunsets. And if you guys appreciate this content, remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm for the 4-dimensional aspects of this market, as we always cover here on the Snipers channel. Subscribe if you've yet to do so. And I know we're starting to gain more momentum with these type of videos, which is awesome. And I'll still do some live streams behind the computer, behind the charts. But I am heading to Poland soon to meet with Mr. Wim Hof, the famous Wim Hof, the ice bath master, pioneer of cold bath therapy, breathing. And and things of that nature. I'm going to go visit him in Poland for some mentorship. You know, I think it's a good time during these slowdowns in the market to really tune into yourself, tune into your body, stay healthy, and stay positive, and keep holding, right? We know Bitcoin, we've been covering it since 3,000, 4,000 US dollars, seeing the move to 20,000, going through the whole bear market, 2018, 2019, and then now seeing it come to 69,000. I mean, I'm still very happy with the $6,000 Bitcoin that I bought in 2020 right now. I'm still 5x on that investment, even with Bitcoin at 35,000. So, you know, this will hurt some of the newcomers in the market. But what I've learned from all of the Bitcoin OGs in the world, you know, I know some of the biggest Bitcoin hodlers in the world, billionaires in this space, right? We can talk about Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Ethereum and Cardano. We can talk about Brock Pierce, a very early Bitcoin adopter, billionaire in the space. The Winklevosses. I mean, these are guys on my Instagram that I've had many opportunities to sit with, to have dinner with, to stay at hotels and be with. And I'll tell you right now, the biggest regret anyone has in this space is selling. Holding is the key. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in today. As soon as that sun comes down, that donut is going to be diminished. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and see you guys tomorrow. Snipers out.